Okay, now it is July 1st, 2010. About 2 weeks. No. It's many weeks. Okay. July 1st, 2010. It has been many weeks, maybe 2 months, since my last post. Mom's medication made such a difference. She is so much happier. She's so much more relaxed. And her sense of humor is better than it's ever been. She seems to be getting along with Joanne. And I think she really enjoys being taken care of. I think she also really enjoys having somebody who can hear her when, and have a conversation. Dad's hearing has been really bad for a lot of years, and probably since the war, really. But then, of course, as he's gotten older, it's gotten so much worse, and they barely were able to have a conversation because Mom's voice got thinner and weaker. His hearing got worse and worse. It is so nice to see her not struggle so much and to be emotionally relaxed for maybe the first time in her whole life. She's always been pretty uptight, very shy, and she kind of came out of her shell. She's still struggling physically just as much. It's painful to see her try to walk with her walker. Not just painful, it's scary. She gets to going forward, and she gets up on her tippy toes, and she takes these little tiny steps, and her walker gets out in front of her, and she doesn't catch up with it, and everybody just holds their breath. But she's being more patient with herself now, and she's being more accepting of her own situation. Joanne seems to be very happy with the arrangement. She's getting along with Mom. She's actually even seems like she's getting attached to Mom. Now Dad is going downhill physically. Very weak and thin. He's on oxygen now and can't make it around the house much. He was on like a big long oxygen leash where he kept his tank in one part of the house and had a long enough hose that he could get everywhere in the house without moving the tank. And that way he didn't have to fight with something heavy or wheel it around or anything. But still people come and visit him and have him, they pray together. So he still is feeling like he's being used of God. So that's what it takes to make my dad feel fulfilled and feel useful. Dad is very grateful to Joanne and has become very dependent on her. She takes care of their every need. And we, meaning Dave and I, are able to relax more and sort of resume our lives. And this kind of gives me a timetable myself. We really haven't been able to do anything but take care of Mom and Dad since 2005. And then it became so difficult in July 2007. That's when my mom had her seizure or her stroke or whatever it was that she had. And that's when things really made a turn. It was 2007, 8, 9, 10. That'd been 3 years already. It was more than we could handle. So it is nice to resume living. Not that this is the last entry about Mom and Dad. I'm sure that it is far from it. But let's look at what I may have learned from this concerning some aspects of faith. Galatians 3:6 message. Abraham believed God, and that act of belief turned into a life that was right with God. Part of faith is the act of belief. And as you believe God and act on it, then just walking out your day-to-day life and continuing to believe that in the midst of your daily struggle and uncertainty and confusion and questioning, and sometimes even courage and understanding and victory, you look around and see that your life, all of it, the good and the bad, all the questions and all the answers, have turned into a life that is right with God. And then right after that, when things seem to be settling down and were in one area, then another part of my family started having some very difficult issues. And I won't go into that because that has nothing to do with the story here. And that's their story, not mine. But this was a prayer I prayed. And this prayer was probably sometime before September 1st of that year. Lord, I don't mean to be self-centered here, but what about me? When do I get off this emotional roller coaster? Heather talked about putting too much stuff in your backpack until you're overburdened. Well, what if it's that everybody else is putting stuff in your backpack? Everybody else is stuffing your day full of their needs and their time. What if everyone else is expecting you to take care of them? They all just expect me, and I have that crossed out, and then it says us, to feed them, clothe them, do their taxes, do their bills, do their doctor visits, mow their lawns, drive to Nebraska to funerals, take off work, lose money, babysit, clean house. What do I do when I can't do everything that needs to be done for everyone? If I was gone, who would do this?